It's the kind of science that generated spectacular headlines in recent years. DNA solves cold case murder, DNA proves wrong man convicted in jail, and DNA proves related to royalty or one of the founding fathers. But what you may not know that much of science was first exposed to the world in an Orange County courtroom in Florida 36 years ago. On November 6, 1987, as history was being made, everyone in the courtroom is being amazed, interested, and confused as they follow the presentation of genetic evidence in front of the jury. And since it was new and different, journalists and audience already knew that the significance of it would be an overstating facts. It starts on February 21, 1987, in the middle of the night, when a commission of rape and nearly deadly attack happened. It wasn't the first attack for the serial rapist who'd been terrorizing Orange County for more than a year. Carren Monroe was in her house. Her two young daughters were asleep in the next room. The girl's bedroom window was later learned that was the point of entry. But upon the entry of Tommy Lee Andrews in the room window of the children, it seemed he ignored the young children and proceeded to the other room where Carren Monroe was sleeping. Tommy Lee Andrews successfully entered the room and jumped into the victim with a sharp object in her throat. The victim was trying to talk to him to keep him occupied so he wouldn't go into the other room and hurt the girls in between fights, being choked and being smothered. This makes the victim conclude that the suspect was meant to kill her. Monroe survived, and days later, Tommy Lee Andrews, a suspect in 2 dozen attacks, was arrested. He was spotted by a couple peeking into a window near Monroe's home. Police spotted his car, chased him, and Andros crashed his vehicle. Police found items that may have been related to previous attacks in the vehicle. 2 of his fingerprints were found on Monroe's window screen, but she never saw his face. She said she could identify Andros' voice, but prosecutors declined to use that as evidence. Ashton and fellow prosecutors helped each other to solve the case, and later on, Ashton seen a magazine titled "He's Wearing His Daddy's Jeans." So that's why Ashton asked the Life Code if they can do the testing to identify a criminal in a rape case. Life Code is specialized in paternity tests. Monroe had no doubt that Andrew will be guilty when she learned about the evidence that will be presented in a court. The state attorney's office sent Life Code samples from 6 cases in which Andrews was a suspect to see if the lab could match his blood with semen, blood, and body fluids found at Monroe's home. And later on was able to make positive matches in Monroe's in one other case. Prosecutors decided to go to trial against Andrews in the Hodge case first. However, while Judge Ron Powell admitted the seemingly strange scientific evidence, the trial ended in a hung jury. The state tried again weeks later in Monroe's attack, and this time, the jury both understand and accepted the evidence, delivering a guilty verdict. Andrews became the first person in the United States convicted with DNA. He was sentenced to more than 100 years in both cases combined, a sentence that was later reduced